is a requested video about pigment powders, and I'm going to try my best to explain how I use them because I'm not a professional. I just know what I like. So I've painted 3 white nails here, and I don't know about your whites, but my whites aren't especially sticky. All of them aren't. I have about 10. They're just not sticky. So what I do to make my pigment stick is I use a base coat. But before we do that, I like to talk about, you got your loose pigments, and this is a black mica powder, and mica powders have a shimmer to them, but you can still use them as pigments. You have your opalescent ones. You also have your other mica powders, and like I said, there's still a shimmer. You can see it through the jar. They're always shimmery. And then I found these on Shein, and again, shimmery. So when you like mix it in acrylics or hard gels, you get a shimmer to it, which is cool sometimes, but you don't always want that. So while you can use the mica powders, I tend to, if you want a darker color, use the mica powders, because the only good pigments I've found are the neons. I prefer the solid ones to these. You don't pull up so much and waste so much. And this thing seems to last forever. So, I also like to talk about my brushes here. I like these brushes a lot to use. They're just some little cheap Dollar Tree ones. Tiny blush brush. Ombre brushes are real good. So, I like to have multiple brushes, so if I use multiple colors, I don't have to keep wiping it off. And then I just clean them all at the end with some alcohol. So first I'm going to put some base coat on these so that my pigments can stick. And once I do all that, I'll be back. And we're going to start with my messed up tip. I don't believe in wasting if I don't have to. It's got a little dent. This is just for tutorial purposes, so. Now, your ombre brush. Now what I like to do is start with a darker color. And I just pat it on because you've got that sticky layer from the base coat. And then you can wipe it off on your dental bib or paper towel. And then you want to get the next color, a color that will blend with that color, like a pink or a blue would work with that color. So I'm going to go in with this darker pink and go right beside it. Now if you want to right now, that's when you can go ahead and blend it into the other color. It blends very easily because they work together. Now, yeah, you can take a color that won't necessarily work with the next color, like say green and pink. They're not going to blend well, but you can just pat it in beside it and just not blend them. It's going to leave this ugly color if you blend them, but you can use whatever colors you want. But if you plan on blending them, I suggest you use colors that complement each other, as in they blend well. Just think your primary colors and how they blend. And see, like this green and yellow, they're going to blend great together. So you can go ahead and blend those. Let's see, this orange and yellow, they might blend decently. I think it would make a darker orange. So just blend over top. And see, it's not going to stick that much over top of the next color because there's no sticky coat. So it will literally just blend. Now let's try this red. I love this little palette that I found with the neon pigments. It's just so much easier than having to deal with the loose powders. I highly recommend. Now red and blue makes purple, so put our blue next to our red, pat that on down, and blend it. Then you get your white pigment. I guess you could do that on like a darker nail. I've never really used it, or maybe you want to lighten another color. I suppose you could do that. But I think I will end this with a yellow. Make us a green mixture when we blend it. Let's see. You got your green from the yellow and blue blending, the purple from the blue and red. This just made a lighter orange. Your purple and pink just makes a darker purple or pink. And I didn't blend this green, but I'm gonna do it now so you can see it doesn't really make a color. It's just a meh. It just looks like it's speckled dirty. That's what ends up happening. Now also, if you're going to be doing this, you'll need to brush the excess powder off. And I personally keep one top coat just for this, because no matter how much you brushed it off, even though it's stuck to the base coat, it dyes your brush. So I'm sure you could clean this off, but why bother? So every color you hit with this is going to be on your brush. So I just use the same top coat for this. And since I only have the Model 1s, that's what I use it for. I know that's what it's for. And if I couldn't remember, all I have to do is open it and see there's a blue brush at the tip, because the last pigment I did was blue. And those dark colored pigments are hard to get out of your top coat brush. And I'm gonna cure that for 60 seconds once I get it all covered here. And move on to the next. Now, let's say you just want a splotchy one, or you just want to ombre, you know, the whole thing. That's fine too. You just pick what colors you want to ombre. I'm going to pick this hot pink. I'm going to put it around the whole top of it. Like I said, I'm patting it in for now. That base coat grabs it. Brush it this way. And then I'm going to go in with this lighter orange. Pat it on the bottom. Blend it up here. It's going to make a darker orange in the middle, but it blends. The colors work together. And last but not least, you can always do the blotchy effect. You just got a blotch of color here and there. And like I said, you don't have to blend these if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. Now see, you can see where colors that don't go together, when you try to blend them, they look a little, yeah. But that's okay in this case, because once you paint a design over it or put a stamp over it or a sticker, you're not gonna be seeing all of that. Like, I've got a nail that I did this splotchy underneath. And you can't tell if these colors aren't working. You cannot tell if those colors aren't working because I've got a stamp and a sticker over it. It just goes. So, that is my explanation of pigments for you. And when you're done, you get a nail like this. And like I said, even these look pale, but once you put a top coat on them, you could have just painted it with gel polish and nobody knows the difference. You can ombre very easily with these. I think it's the easiest ombreing that you can do is with some pigment powders. Even easier than pat gels. And if you're wanting a neon ombre, then you're doing good. Go ahead and put the top coat on this one too. And yes, if I was going to stamp this, I would still put the top coat on it. If I was going to paint on it. But I would use a matte coat. And yes, I have a matte coat dedicated to that too. It's also my Model 1s. And then you cure it for 60 seconds. As far as your brush goes, there's nothing coming off of it. You can clean this with alcohol if you feel the need to. But there's really no need right now, especially when you use this. Now if you use the powder, it's all up in the bristles because it gets all the way through it. Like I said, your mica powders, if you want a shimmer, are best for using with acrylic and hard gels to mix, builder gels, because they all have a shimmer. Even the ones that claim to not have one, they have one. I mean, even the black mica powder has a shimmer. Ugh. And if you just want a plain color, I mean, I wish I could find regular colors and not neons. But even when you use eyeshadows, eyeshadows have a shimmer in them. So this one is a good painting nail, you know, to paint over the neon. Good ombre. Easy ombre. And an easy rainbow. But like I said, you want to get colors that blend well. This pink and green were never going to blend well. That's why I did that, so you could see it's not gonna blend well. So I hope this video helps. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day, night, month, year. Bye, my little hotties.